Welcome to the Mindscaped podcast. Politics, environment, history, mental health, business, religion, people, and philosophy. Escape to the real world.
It's another podcast with Mindscaped with me, Nazir, and Shaheen. In our studios, we've had a wonderful trip up and down out of the city into Durban, Joburg, and you've been traveling a lot, Shaheen. And we come back from Cairo. We spoke to Shanaz, CEO of Penny Appeal, about her trip and our trip together, and the lessons learned and the processes and what goes on. I mean, there's so much to talk about right now in the world, and we just thought we'll just have a quick chat about the world right now and the issues facing the globe as Muslims and everyone around the world, and issues that are important to us and important to you. Maybe you heard about some issues. Maybe you got your own thoughts. We'd love to see the engagement happening. Let's talk firstly about engagement on our profiles.
It's been pretty amazing.
So we've launched 3 podcasts.
Yeah, what, in a month?
And the last 2 within the last month.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how has that been on TikTok and Instagram and stuff?
Well, on Instagram, I think we have it about, at the moment, when I checked last night, about 70,000 views or engagement.
8,000.
70,000.
70,000.
70,000. It's been pretty amazing.
And the reach has been like over 120?
No, the reach has been, I think, 176.
Wow.
So it's been,
And that's just on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I've been posting on TikTok, and we've been having like some of the videos had over 19,000 views on one video.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so overall about 60 to 70,000 views.
And what's good about this is that it's a multi-racial, it's a completely different vibe, completely different people that are watching it, different races, different colors. There's been some negative comments, but we love it.
The trolls.
Yeah, we love it.
The pro-Israel trolls.
It's been really good engagement to see where people are.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that I always remember, I always think about, there was a sheikh that once said, before questioning anyone, try to put yourself into his shoes.
Yeah.
Because he studied this and believes in it, and he's done the whole due diligence on it. So before you judge him, see where he is, and then engage him. So to understand that so if he studied the scriptures, for example, and he firmly believes in this, and you studied this, and you firmly believe in that, try to understand where he's coming from and vice versa.
And most of the guys online haven't studied anything.
No.
I watched this podcast and I heard this story.
Yeah. So it's like more like the encyclopedia, the university became WhatsApp during COVID time, and the trend still stays.
That's so true, man. We had doctors coming out of the woodworks.
And it's funny because you get people sitting in the toilet and like, oh God, sitting in the toilet and reading on WhatsApp, and they come on. But and they're debating this issue. Do you know, I read this. Where did you read it? On WhatsApp.
You know, they
and
call
it says, and it says, not verified.
They call it the thinking pose. It's this thinking pose. You're sitting in the toilet there on a thinking pose.
Yeah, it's like, okay, great stuff.
Astaghfirullah,
great
man.
stuff. So, Nazir, this last, 40, 50 days has been, I think the whole world is talking the same language.
Yeah.
For most of us.
Well, most of us
are talking the same language. And we've seen devastation in a way we've never seen it before.
Yeah.
And I you know what? I think it has happened previously, but again, thank God for social media. Because if it wasn't for social media, I think most of us would have been left in the dark and still carrying on with our daily lives.
Yeah.
So, what are your current thoughts on the Palestinian conflict?
Yeah, so I mean, what you mentioned is if you look at the previous Nakba, right? Because this is definitely a Nakba, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely a point of time where people are being chased from their land, from their homes, from their usual lives that they were living, and now pushed into somewhere that no one knows, into a refugee kind of situation. And we've met those Palestinian refugees from the first Nakba when we visited Bethlehem. Yeah. And we heard their stories, and we see how they live right now after so many years post that. And that time, there wasn't this, as you say, social media. There was cameras and there was video. There was some tales. There was some post that.
Yeah, but you were waiting for the Sunday Tribune to come out?
What's that? Yeah, waiting for the Sunday Times and Tribune.
Sunday
Yeah.
Times, the Tribune.
Yeah.
That's where you got your information from.
That's where you
because
got information
If you
from,
go
yeah.
back, what, 20
And that was fully controlled information.
100%, because
It was a source that was being approved by an editor.
yeah, because if you go back into our dad's days or grandparents' days, there was no such thing as a PCs and iPhones and stuff. There was nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, they were still using the old telephone, the one that goes tring tring,
Oh, yeah, the dial-up
the
one.
dial-up one. So
So you got a telegram then.
yeah, 100%. So in a way,
So the truth could not be televised.
100%, and
Yeah.
the narrative right now isn't really controlled.
Yeah.
What we see is what we actually get.
Yeah.
And it's raw. So with what's coming out in Palestine, I mean, for me personally, it is just fucked up.
Absolutely.
It is sad. It
Yeah.
is, and I think for most of us, I was having this conversation, I think with your sister, and I said, I think people who's watching this on social media need therapy because of the emotional trauma that you're witnessing every single day.
Yeah.
That cannot be healthy.
It can't. And I mean, we really try and empathize with those living in that situation.
100%.
But when have you ever seen a burnt body of dismembered, your member, your child, your neighbor in your hand burnt, into smithereens, or a piece of leg here and a piece of arm there? None of us have seen that. None of us have ever had to experience that. And so even to even conceive the idea in our mind is just really messing with us.
I mean, right now in Palestine, because of the ongoing bombing, they aren't really looking for bodies. They're looking for body parts. And I watched a video where someone was carrying a hand. Like, we have no idea whose hand is this. But he's carrying the hand to the authorities or the hospital or to wherever he was carrying it.
Yeah.
But right now, they're looking for body parts. How do you fathom that?
I saw the video of one of the South Africans that have landed in South Africa from Gaza. They released a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
And she was saying that she saw her own eyes, body parts, as she was leaving.
Yeah.
And she would see children's legs with their names written on their feet.
Yeah, 100%.
And so, this is someone saying it in real life, so that maybe you can find this is the leg of my daughter Samira or something. Subhanallah. I mean, this is just, it's mind blowing, and it's affecting me. It's you feel hopeless, but I was so appreciative that I could actually go to Cairo and pack these hampers and see it leave off. In the hope that it in knowing that it's going to affect someone's life positively, for them to maybe live a couple of more days, and Allah knows then their life will be taken away.
For me, the trip to Cairo was pretty amazing, and for me, the real heroes outside of Gaza, the truck drivers.
Oh yeah.
Like, everyone talks about aid going in, but no one talks about who the driver is.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, he's married, he has a family, he has kids. He's risking his life for people he doesn't know.
Because there was bombings at the Rafah border.
Yeah. He's driving in, not knowing whether he's going to come back out.
Or allowed to come back out.
Or allowed to come back
out. Or have petrol to come back out.
Yeah, 100%. And he has to sleep, eat, toilet, everything in the truck.
Yeah.
I mean, that for me is pure sacrifice.
No doubt.
I mean, if you're married, you're basically kissing your wife and saying,
every time,
I'll see you in Jannah. If I'm not back, I'll see you in Jannah. I mean, for me, those are the real heroes. I mean, I'm not talking about, don't let anyone come and start attacking me now and talking about, we're not talking about the people in Palestine. No, that's a completely different.
We're talking about everyone.
We're talking about everyone, but those that are actually willing to give up their life to go in with aid, for me, wow.
Absolutely.
Wow, a pure sacrifice. If you want to understand sacrifice, watch the Penny Appeal videos and you'll see it there.
Yeah, true. So to wrap this topic up for now, we're hopefully going to get more guests to talk about the real issues. But for me, what stands out right now is in the recent times, I've been seeing these trolls coming much stronger on the pro-Israeli side, right? And I've seen them coming out vociferously. I don't know, are these computerized trolls that are just looking for content, or they're getting paid from another country? And
I mean,
we've
seen some influencers where they showed us, if you go onto social media or research it, you'll see there's a whole lot of influencers worldwide that were given or were contacted by the Israeli government or someone representing the Israeli government, where they were offered, I think, $5,000 to $10,000 to talk about Israel in a good light. I mean, for fuck's sake, you go onto YouTube and there's this dumb song where they show you the Israeli soldiers, women and men, dancing, doing a stupid dance. that comes up literally
Like a TikTok dance.
Yeah. It is so stupid.
These are Israeli soldiers.
Yeah, Israeli soldiers. And you know what? Most of them actually look like they're under 25 or 22. They're quite young. I mean, you talk about the morality army. Which other army comes onto YouTube and shakes their ass?
Yeah.
In the time of war.
Yeah,
Like
in the time of war.
like, for me, it's like you're trying to pacify and saying, yeah, we're all happy. What we're doing is bloody good. No,
Yeah.
you're not. What you're doing is
evil.
It's evil. It's pure evil. I mean, there's a guy who's on Instagram, I think. I forgot his username. He's a South African guy serving in the IDF who gives off daily feedback. And he, to some, is a hero because he's defending his homeland. Well, if that's your homeland, then just fuck off there.
Yeah.
Don't come back to South Africa.
Exactly.
Stay there.
Yeah.
And then-
and the South African government themselves now, I mean, they have gone back on their word.
Do you know what?
They're not going to go and close the embassy. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, if you look at the previous podcast that we had, when it comes to boycotting, when it comes to closure of stuff,
So just on that point, before you mention, why I brought it up is because you spoke about them being South African.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be allowed to have dual citizenship then. If
No.
you're going to fight for an army outside of your country,
So I think
so there's two parts. One is the government not going ahead with this approval of closing the embassy, the Israeli embassy,
Yeah.
and chasing out the
So I
ambassador.
think, I mean, firstly, you shouldn't be serving in two armies. I mean, you shouldn't be having two passports. And
on any scale, or just when you're fighting war?
You know, in the sense that you cannot be joining another army.
Right.
Because if that's the case, then you need to renounce.
But then they're going to say that's nationalism.
Well, nationalism is a sin that we all have adopted. I mean, that's the reality of it. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, look at South Africans, right? The only place in the world, subhanAllah, where when you ask someone, what are you?
Yeah.
I'm Indian.
Yeah.
Bro, you have never been to India.
Yeah.
You don't even speak the language. Why are you identifying yourself as Indian? Like
That's
they were-
my heritage, and you
No.
have to protect your heritage.
But here's the thing. Were your great-great-granddaddies always from Hindustan?
Yeah.
Always. They've never migrated from another land.
No, they always were Hindustani.
So they were,
From Indus Valley, yeah.
So in essence, they reverts.
Yes.
Okay, so take me for example,
Yes.
right? My family comes from Afghanistan, right? So do I call myself an Afghani?
I know what you say.
Wait. There's more coming to this.
Yeah, I mean, you can't deny. You should not deny your heritage.
Wait.
So my heritage is Indian.
Wait.
And here in South Africa, we've got another nuance of the whole apartheid era.
Wait. That's bullshit. You can't keep going back. Oh, apartheid.
Yeah, apartheid separated us, and now we had to.
So when is it going to end? When are you going to say I am South African?
I always say I'm South African.
No, you said Indian.
No, I am
And
South
you're going to say
African.
memon.
Pakka
memon. Memon Akni.
Yeah, the best. So no, listen to the fact. The fact is you have to, there's categories now.
Right.
Because this globalized world is so changed. People may be Indian, born in UK, now living in South Africa.
Right.
Now what does he call
No,
himself?
but look at.
He's got a South African citizenship.
Yeah, but look at
My
me.
sister now living in London, for example.
Yeah, what is
Is
she?
she British or she's South African?
She's British. She's
Or
got a
is she
British
Indian?
passport.
Or is she Indian?
She's got a British passport.
And she's Indian also.
No, why would she be Indian? She's never been to India.
But what is her heritage?
Again, my point is this.
What is
right?
your heritage? And you should not ever deny your heritage.
We use me as an example, right?
Right.
My great-grandfather is from Afghanistan.
Right, so you're Afghani.
Wait, let me finish. His great-grandfather is from Uzbekistan.
Okay. Now you're Uzbeki guy.
So what is he then? And then I can go back another two or three generations, is Iraqi. And then Madani. So do I go back to the source? Or do I go back 2 generations? Because at what point are you going to...
You're unique.
Alhamdulillah.
You're unique.
Alhamdulillah. Because for me, when there was a Syrian sheikh that came down about in 2009, right? And he refused to be identified as Syrian. He said, I'm American. I have an American passport. I am an American. I don't regard myself as an American Syrian. I don't go back to Syria. I have nothing back there.
Sure.
So now that his kids are born in the US, what are they? Syrian. Hell no. How?
They're not Syrian, but
what
their
are they?
heritage is Syrian.
So at what point do you say, again, use me as an example, at what point do I say, okay, today I will. So it's just so. Let me paint the picture clearly.
You need to do a DNA test.
If my great grandparents came from Uzbekistan to Afghanistan, at what point he said, today we are no more Uzbeks.
Yeah.
We are Afghani because we eat Afghani palau.
Okay, now again, your situation is very. Mine is very simple. My family came from India, and they came as traders to South Africa.
And prior India.
They were
You
Indian.
have an else.
Oh,
What the hell happened here?
I forgot about loadshedding.
Oh, this was great, so good.
I forgot it was. Okay. So we had load shedding.
Nothing new in South Africa.
Yeah, so we're running on a little baby. What do you call that?
Do you think the next generation is going to go through load shedding?
You know why there's load shedding?
Why? Let's hear this.
It's purely because of corruption.
Yeah.
And the corruption is based on the various Madupi power station and Kusela, I think the other one is called. These power stations that, so the story goes that there was tenders come out, and the tenders were given to various parties, and it was approved, but one of them was an Indian company, and they came in and they fixed the first phase, and that first phase was done so well that they did it in a shorter time with less amount of money. Then the guys got greedy and realized, okay, there's a deal here. So then the next tender comes out for phase 2, and they say, we're not giving it to this party.
Oh, I
We're going to
read
give
that.
it to our bras.
And then they wanted them to become BEE.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when that came in, then this Indian party, obviously company didn't get it, and they got some random people did it, and they had no experience, they didn't have the manpower, they didn't have the expertise, the experience of the right party to do it. And so then what happened was you had failures consistently at the power stations. And so when you had failures to get the new parts, to bring them in, to import them, problem is you don't have the time frames, issues, and that's why we've got this. Purely because of corruption.
Do you think it'll be fixed?
I mean, the next topic would be about the politics, right? What's happening in 2024. I mean, if the ANC continue to rule, we're going to have a problem because corruption will never come out from them.
The $1 million question is, do you want them to rule?
Now, you're asking my personal opinion or you're asking a general? I want the best party to rule.
Who's the best in this at this moment? Who's the best?
I can't tell you that. I don't have that answer. I truly don't have the answer because when you look at it from the best, because you ask the question, what do people want? They want service delivery and they want the problems in their communities to be fixed, right? They want jobs, they want homes, etc.
Yeah.
That's what people want. I mean, there's nothing going to be perfect. No one can be perfect.
Does foreign policy determine your vote?
And I'm coming to that. So that's what you genuinely want. So from a perspective, if you look in from a local councillor, I had one of the best local councillors. His name was, and he's now the mayor of Mgani, Chris Papas, right?
Or the dancing dude?
Dances?
You don't see this. He's doing a video.
African dance.
Yeah.
And he speaks amazing Zulu.
Yeah, you should actually invite him.
Chris was amazing. Chris, I would just WhatsApp him. He was a councillor in my area.
Yeah.
He was DA, and he was a councillor in my area. And I'll be honest, I didn't vote him, but he became the councillor.
Why didn't you vote him?
I didn't know he was going to be the councillor at the time.
Okay, so now knowing
If there was a second vote.
now knowing that he's an amazing.
If he was going to be the councillor again,
Yeah.
if it was purely because of the fact of him being a great councillor, I would vote him in as a councillor.
Wait.
I would vote him as a councillor.
Let me throw a spanner in the
because
work here.
I'll tell you why. I could message him at any time.
Yeah.
There's a pothole here, there's an issue here. Even though he didn't have the powers inside of government because the parliament was run by ANC, right, locally, he still had the ability to respond to me. He said, look, I tried, I did message him, I called, here's your reference number. Amazing. This feedback was incredible.
Yeah.
Yet I've got a DA councillor, the same ward,
Yeah.
the current DA councillor, absolutely useless. Doesn't respond to messages, doesn't call back, nothing. Service delivery in my area is horrific. So again, it's about the personality.
Okay, so if this personality
From a local perspective.
if this personality,
Not a governmental national perspective.
I'm coming to that. If this personality was running for president, would you vote him in?
Now, that's the question I asked from a national perspective.
Right.
What is his policy as a national? Local, I can tell you his policies.
Right.
Amazing. Good.
Now
No problem.
let's say he did the exact same thing.
No.
Hypothetically.
No, wait. Policy.
Right.
Understand something?
Right.
So one is action
Right.
and then the policy.
Right.
Here, locally, his policy was good, his actions were good.
Right.
Tick, no problem. On a national scale, I look at, okay, he's going to give houses, he's going to do all of that. But then I question about what is his policies, his party's policies. Because he could be one person.
So you know where I'm coming with this.
I know. Okay. What is his party's policy? Now look at his party's policy for DA, and they've come out clear on who they support here in this issue of Palestine and Israel. And they're completely Israeli supported.
Yeah.
And
There's actually, I think, three, if my memory serves me correct, 3 parties that actually are pro-Israel.
a few of them actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, ACDP, DA.
There's a few.
Action SA.
Action SA.
Yeah, and that other guy, Gayton McKenzie.
Yeah, I was quite surprised with that.
Yeah, he went to Israel and all that.
Yeah.
Useless guy. Anyway, so you got so many of those characters. So for example, so I look at the policy. And the policy I don't agree with. I can't vote in my consciousness at being from. I never experienced apartheid. I'm still. I'm 1986, so just close to the end of apartheid. My parents did. I know the stories. I know my family who was part of the anti-apartheid struggle, and I hear that and I say, you are supporting another apartheid state. That's your policy.
But
I don't make sense.
But what if life,
so I can't in good consciousness vote for you then.
But what if life for you and your family become really great?
At the expense of me supporting bombing of another country.
But wouldn't
and bombing Muslims.
But wouldn't
was my religion? No, never.
Oh, you're bringing Islam into this now. Okay.
Yeah, I have to.
Okay, I get it.
I'm unequivocally Muslim first.
100%.
Khalas.
100%. But then, would you being Muslim first, your patriotism and your activism should be across the board?
Now we talked about nationalism earlier.
No, wait.
Right.
It should be across the board, correct?
No. As a Muslim.
Yes.
As a Muslim, yes.
So you support...
I must love for my brother what I love for myself.
So why aren't you calling for the boycott of those that support Congo?
Yeah, so...
the Uyghurs?
Yeah, I've done that for Uyghurs. With Congo now, I'm still researching, so I'm glad maybe you'll share some more insight with me and I'll tell you I'll boycott them.
What I read last night...
And I'll call for standing up. I stood outside the embassies when it came to Yemen and the issues against Yemen, and the US was bombing Yemen.
Yeah.
I was there. So, the same thing.
I mean, if my memory serves me correct, 600,000 dead, close to 3 to 4 million displaced.
Congo
currently, and they're fighting for something that goes into a phone and cars.
Is it cobalt?
Yeah. That's what they're fighing for. I think it's M23, and the Congolese government which has some support from Southern Africa.
Yeah.
Why aren't we calling for why? So there was something I was thinking about last night, and since you are Indian. Why don't we see in the Muslim world and within the Muslim Indian community the same uproar that you have for Palestine, for Kashmir? What's the difference there? Why do we have selective patriotism and activism when, in essence, if I use you as an example, your heritage goes back to these lands that are either causing it or part of it or...
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it from the perspective as an individual.
Right.
So as an individual, I've stood up on it. I've spoken about it on my platforms. I've done that.
Yeah.
But now you're talking about it from a holistic perspective.
Holistic
not just
community,
individual perspective.
yeah,
right?
national.
So you say you, and you're pointing at me, making me feel like I'm in trouble, right? No.
No, but do you get what I'm saying?
Don't interrogate me, right?
No, but you get what I'm saying. I mean...
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah. I think it's about, number one, information.
Yeah.
There's not good enough amount of information that is in the industry, that is, or in the media, that is explaining the story in a way that the Palestine-Israel story has been doing, right? That's the first issue, and that's because maybe we're not doing the research as people. Secondly, is because of who controls media and what's coming out, and the what's the word? The stories that are being told and how it's being told. So I think that's firstly the most important thing.
Right.
And because of that, you're seeing inaction. You're seeing people not doing the same they're doing for Palestine. That's, I think, is one of the reasons. Not because they're complacent. If they really knew what was going on, they truly had the information, I think they would have.
Do you honestly believe that you will have the same uproar and outcry like what you see for Palestine? Like, I mean, if you look at South Africa...
Absolutely.
If you look at South Africa...
If the story is told in this way, and the media is telling the story in that way, then how can they not be?
Okay.
Would they not?
Let me flip it. China was told.
Yeah, I stood up against the China.
So the question I'm asking...
why am I not boycotting?
No, so the question I'm asking is, and I'm putting you on the spot where you're representing everyone.
Right, thank you.
Why do you think...
I'm the next president of India.
Inshallah. Why do you think we don't have the same uproar for China? Bear in mind, I think the Uyghurs are 20 million.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of information out of there. Why do you think we didn't call...
There were marches,
Boycott. Akhi, boycott.
Okay, now...
Boycott, akhi.
Right. So understand something with boycotting. And the issue with boycotting, as even Professor Dr. Lubna Nadvi said, it cannot be a blanket boycott of every single thing.
No, we're not saying blanket,
Wait.
but of some things.
Let me finish my point.
Yeah.
So you can't have this blanket boycott. It just makes no sense.
Right.
Then you can't live. Then you can't use a laptop. You can't use the phone. And like, okay, everyone are boycotting.
Yeah.
You can't. So it's got to be a targeted, strategic boycott.
Do you know what boycotting has taught me?
And wait, let me finish this point. And so that's what I'm saying. So yes, if we have a collective that is saying we're targeting this Chinese product or this Chinese manufacturer
Was
or
that
this
done?
supply. No, I don't know. I've never seen it.
So
I've never seen it. Potentially they may have been done. I can't tell
So
you.
the $1 million question is, how many Chinese products you have in your house?
No, I mean, again, it's about again information. I said if it was packaged the way that this Palestine issue is
100%.
packaged, then yes, I don't think people
I
would
mean,
have
we're sitting
stopped.
here and we're laughing about this, even though it's a serious matter. But the biggest lesson for me in this was that it showed us, or me, that Muslims in general and the wider community are so reliant on products coming out from these countries.
Yeah.
I've always said something, and I'm going to say it again now. If you look at the Muslim ummah in itself, we don't have the Imam Ghazali of the time, the Ibn Hazm, the free thinkers.
Yeah.
We
Ibn Sina.
Yeah, I might get shot down for this, but I think we have become very lazy people.
Yeah.
Intellectually. We don't pick up, we don't read, we don't
We just
research.
prefer to be fed.
I mean, you'll get someone, a lot of us in the South African community will come out and you'll meet some pious person and they'll tell you, "Bhai, this wall is white, even though the wall is black." And this guy will look at it, yeah, Nazid, if you look at it from this side,
The shade.
you'll see white.
If there's a shadow on it.
Yeah, 100%. We don't have that ability to question.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I'm going to go back to now with that is that when people say don't question, and I'm sure you've heard that before,
Yeah.
the reason why we have hadith and fiqh is because the Sahabas questioned, with the utmost respect, questioned Nabi
Exactly.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, why, how, who, where.
Yeah.
There's a reason for it.
There is sami'na wa ata'na.
Yes.
There is the fact of we hear and obey.
Yes,
But you hearing and obeying is Quranic injunctions.
right.
But when it comes to other aspects of ijma and consensus, then you got to ask your scholar. Then you got to ask your scholars in your community.
Yeah.
And there may be a different opinion in Malaysia compared to South Africa
Yeah, something very interesting I read, and I think it was done in the
because of context.
Yeah, I think it was something done in the Ottoman times. When the Ottomans sent a sheikh or an imam to an area, he had to, firstly, he needed to have a degree, or he needed to understand his own language to the T. Then he needed to have a great understanding of Arabic. Now, if they sent him to Durban, he would need to have a great understanding of Zulu before coming here.
And giving da'wah.
And giving dawah. And then the fatwas.
And then also marrying the community.
Yeah,
which is
100%.
That was Sahaba's rule.
100%. And before issuing out a fatwa and a ruling, he had to intermingle and
Learn the culture.
learn the culture, and understand what is going on. And a lot of us know Imam Shafi. When Imam Shafi went, if I'm not mistaken, when he went to Iraq and he found, when he was teaching the people in Iraq, his understanding was, or when he went to Imam Abu Hanifa, he prayed with his hands. He read the witr. Sorry, he read the witr because he understood
In
the
the way
culture
that
there.
they're- yeah.
And it wasn't anything wrong.
Yeah.
Where we now in today's time, especially in certain cities in South Africa, we must read the witr at this time.
Yeah. And this
Tarawih-
way. And then
Tarawih-
they'll
Tarawih
separate
time.
from the
Yeah.
from the community salah and read their own witr somewhere else. But yet there's another mosque which I go to, Whistle Sufi.
Yeah.
Every second night,
Yeah.
Imam Fuzail then changes. One night he'll do the Shafi method, the other night is Hanafi method.
And where's the Maliki?
I don't know. You look at the majority of the people, right? You are one Maliki.
Alhamdulillah. So, there's a lot of lessons, especially when it comes to boycotting. Like, we've become so reliant on certain countries for goods where it made us weak in itself.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at us, most of the Muslim countries buys weapons from the West. Most of the medical stuff comes from the West. Yet, you go back, 200, 300 years ago, we were the leaders in literally everything.
Yeah.
And I always say this, and
Astronomy and everything.
please forgive me for this. We are the fastest growing ummah, but we are the laziest ummah intellectually.
Absolutely.
Majority of us,
Yeah.
I would
We
say.
prefer to be spoon-fed.
100%.
And we believe that this is the problem where I come in with secular education. They say, no, this is secular education. You shouldn't be delving too much. You must go into dunya and deen. Absolutely. I completely agree. Of deen. Absolutely. But you know what? Secular education is part of deen.
No, 100%. Because
Absolutely. Learning about astronomy and the stars and then connecting it with the prophetic views and the prophetic understanding. Because one day someone will come question you, is Bitcoin halal or haram? Sorry, I didn't research the secular view. I only know the dunya view,
Like
the deeni view. Come on. You have to understand both. My dad always said he'd wished to have a son and daughter that was a doctor, alima, so you have the science and of the world and as well as the science of Islam.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. I mean, back to what you said. I mean, there's a lot of communities in South Africa that believe, as you said, secular is not important. But bro, when you get sick, when your wife gets pregnant, where are you going? You're going to a monkey.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's so important. And there was a sheikh that I met once. I can't remember from which country. And he said the aim of every Muslim is to become a billionaire.
That's what he said?
Yes.
It should be?
The aim of every Muslim
Should be.
is to aim to become a billionaire.
You know my views on billionaires, right?
No, wait, listen. Look at his reasoning. And alhamdulillah, I totally agree with it.
Yeah.
He says, because you need money to do dawah. You need money for research.
And if you don't think of the cash, you're talking about wealth. You need wealth.
Yes, wealth. I'm talking about wealth.
Yeah.
And then Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jailani always said, and if anyone goes and study his life, you will realize he was a billionaire. But he always talks about fakir. People don't understand that word fakir. It doesn't mean poor materialistically. It means poor spiritually. Oh, fakir. He says, because on the day of Qiyamah, I'm going to go, when Allah questions me, I don't want to enter Jannat or Jahannam upon my deeds. I want to enter it upon your mercy. I don't want my deeds.
Allahu Akbar.
Right? Yet he was a billionaire. And what he said, I think in the book called Secret of Secrets, keep Allah in your heart and your wealth in your pocket.
Oh, wow.
That's the difference. And the more you keep Allah here, the more Allah would let the dunya
Pockets
chase
full
you. Yes, 100%. And the more you say, la, I don't want it, the more you're going to say, take. That's what's the difference.
And that's what's happening us. We believe our rizq is through the hard efforts that we do, not from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
100%. We always forget that. That every stain, every source comes from Allah.
Yeah.
Good and bad. Everything comes.
Absolutely.
It's your test. And when you talk about tests, one man's test is another man's test. Like what the Palestinians are going through is a test that, subhanAllah, I don't think anyone will be able to manage. But Allah has chosen them. And the verse in the Quran that says what? I will not burden you
More than you can handle.
more than you can handle. So they can handle it. We can't.
We can't.
100%. But the test for us is how we react to that.
Absolutely.
It's a knock-on effect. Life has a knock-on effect.
What have you done?
What have you done? That's your test.
And that's why we say, have you spoken out? Have you boycotted?
Have you boycotted?
Have you spoken out? Have you boycotted? Have you done, actions through your deeds? Have you changed yourself? Have you introspected? Have you then, encouraged others? Those are the questions. Have you prayed? Have you made dua for them? Have you considered their lives?
Well,
this is the question Allah will
you're
ask
talking about that, and I've met some brothers, may Allah guide them, guide all of us, who told me, I don't support the Palestinian cause. I was like, why?
Muslims.
Oh, I'm Muslim, mashallah. I'm so tempted to mention something, but I'd rather not. Yeah. Muslims, and quite a few of them from the same group. Yes. They told me they don't support it, and the reason why was because they believed Hamas was a creation of Israel. So you have the pit bull that's now attacking his master. So I'd rather not. I don't believe in this. I don't support it. I don't do nothing. And then they go back to the thing. Yeah, but they sing and they dance and they have the mawlud and Allah's azab is falling on them. They punish biddatis.
Grave worshippers.
So when someone dies and someone gets blown up, they biddatis, they deserve it. Piss off, man.
That's what one of them said.
Yeah. Wallahi. Actually, they didn't know they biddatis. You know what? Allah's curse is upon them. Not curse. Allah's punishment is upon them.
Yeah.
Whoa. For you to sit here in your comfort of your
Judge,
home.
juror, and executioner.
You judging, yet you got a big beard, namaz, mak, subhanallah. You have learned nothing.
From which land are they?
India,
Oh, I thought Saudi.
Indian South Africans.
I thought these were Saudi guys.
No.
But even the Saudi guys themselves.
Yeah, well, the reality is, and this is the reality we all need to understand. You're not going to feel what I feel. I'm not going to feel what you feel. I'm not going to be as patriotic as you are.
Only when you put yourself in my shoes.
And 100%. And you know, there's a very famous Persian scholar who's buried in current-day Iran, and his name is Sheikh Shadi al-Shirazi, because he's from Shiraz. And he said how he was born in poverty. And he said how he used to look at people who wore shoes and envy them. Right? And how he prayed for shoes until he met a man with no feet.
It's actually a Zayn Bika song he made.
Zambika? Did he credit it to Sheikh Shadi?
Probably. It's a song he wrote about exactly that. Yeah.
That's written in Sheikh Shadi. It's actually written in his Gulshan.
I have 2 legs to walk upon, and the world is mine. And he's like, how can I be? And
Bro, that's haram. You bid that day, you're singing. Yeah, but
so we spoke about, the issue of nationalism. I think that's when we got cut off.
yeah.
And we spoke about voting and so on. But just to finish off the issue of nationalism, and we're speaking about your heritage, right?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to explain to you then, you're saying that we're all from Adam alayhi salam, so then therefore what we...
We're all family.
Yeah, I know that, but you're saying that the fact is that...
No, but for me, I look.
I'm saying I'm anti-nationalism from an Islamic perspective, because we've lost our Islamic, prowess and pride. Because now we're saying, no, I'm actually, sorry, I'm from the subcontinent, I'm from India, I'm from Asia, I'm from Russia.
I love this
first.
because I always ask people, which Sahabas came on? I said, I am an Indian Sahaba. Or I am a Persian Sahaba. You are regarded as companions, Sahaba.
Fair, but we also recognize their heritage. We spoke about Bilal radiallahu anh and his heritage.
Yes, because only because in Arab
Salahuddin and his heritage.
only because in Arab culture your last name is from the area you come from.
Yeah, Al-Farsi,
That's it.
Yeah.
But Salman Farsi isn't a fair person, he's a black person.
But that's the point, right? The point is I'm saying you do recognize your heritage. So I can't deny my heritage
that's part of his
and
name.
say I'm from India.
No, but that's part of his name. That's my point.
So you question
because-
why do I go around saying I'm from India?
Yeah, why?
Because it's my heritage. So Nadir al-Hind.
No, Nazrik al-Afrik.
Al-Afriki al-Hind.
No. Because for you personally, you have an Arab surname.
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
So that your great-great-granddaddy changed his surname.
Yeah, well, actually, my family tree is a bit unique.
You are Beda. You are egg.
Why are you
Bedu.
picking that up? No, it's Behda.
Okay.
That's my original surname, Behda.
But that's your surname.
Yeah, my surname, Behda. The family clan, we Khatri.
You should
Memon
be
Khatri Behda.
Nazir, Riyaaz, Beda.
Behda. Behda.
So what changed?
And so we had my great grandfather was known as Jamal Behda.
As a title.
That was his surname, Jamal Behda. Name Jamal.
Right.
Why Jamal? Is because my heritage, if you go quite right up, maybe probably about 7-8 generations up, we have someone called Arab, A-R-A-B. Now they don't know if it was that's the time of conversion, or was it just someone who married in a family who was an Arab. It's a bit of a confusion on that, but they just got it on my family tree when we did our research.
How far back?
Probably eight generations up.
Yeah, but then.
So
but
that's why
that's
where potentially the name changed and became Muslim potentially. And that's where Jamal was.
But
given.
you fall under Memon, correct?
Yeah. So we Khatri Memon. Yeah.
But if you actually research Memon, it didn't originate in India.
Where did it from?
Iran.
Serious?
You need to do some research.
I didn't
on this,
research
bro.
that.
You need to do some research on this. And I met a sheikh again. Alhamdulillah, I met a lot of sheikhs. Met a sheikh and he was talking about the Memon community many years ago. And he said about 800 years ago, the name was changed. It was called, the tribe was called something else.
Right.
And it was changed, take a guess by who? Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jailani's son.
Wow.
Because the Memon community, or that tribe at that time, was the biggest funders and donors to Ahl Sunnah wa Jama'ah.
MashaAllah.
And when they came, Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jailani passed away,
Memons are blessed, bro.
Wait, I'm going to tell you why they're blessed. According to the Sheikh Abdul Wahab, the eldest son, made a dua for the tribe. And he said, oh Allah, let their wealth expand and never run out as long as they keep funding Ahl Sunnah or Islam.
Takbir.
And if you look at the Memon community today, alhamdulillah, a lot of them are big funders in charity, in Islam. Alhamdulillah, they've been a blessing to the communities.
Thank you.
Alhamdulillah.
So that's the point I was saying. So I was just talking about Jamal Beda, and then Jamal came, as everyone knows, Jamal the Explorer. And then he traveled to South Africa, up and down, many others, and that's when they became traders, and they came actually to Pietermaritzburg, and that's
So what changed the name?
So then that's when, because he was the explorer and he was one of the first to come to South Africa, that's when they gave the name, and the surname became Jamal.
Wow.
So yeah, technically I'm not Jamal.
But I think you should go back to your original surname. It sounds so cute.
Yeah, you're gonna finish me up.
Sumia Beda.
Yeah, so we spoke about. I just wanted to get back on the topic of boycotting. Right, I'm all for boycott, but I tell you, it's about targeted boycotts. But you have a kind of a different opinion on this.
I have a kind of different opinion on this because after, and you're going to say this, we Muslims, alhamdulillah, but I'm also a humanitarian, first and foremost. And I think I look at it from a point of the work that we do in South Africa and the amount of poverty in South Africa that we've seen literally on a daily basis. I mean,
The growing poverty.
The growing poverty. And if you look at it, this year alone, Penny Appeal in Cape Town fed over 300,000 people in the last 6 months. They distributed like 56 or 58 tons of rice.
Sure.
I think right now, and I might sound a bit hypocritical with this, right now for South Africa, it's fine because it's not, in my opinion, and I could be very wrong, it's not having such an impact in comparison to other countries where businesses have closed down. But I do think if it's going to start having an impact where businesses are going to close down, I think we need to really look at this because you're going to have mass unemployment. You're going to have, most people are currently earning a minimum wage. So what happens to them? That's a fair question, I think. What happens to them? And you can't say F them or do this or do that. And my allegiance is with Palestine. Your allegiance should be with Palestine because that's part of our deen. We stand up for injustice. But at the same time, would it be me standing up for injustice is going to cause a long-term zulm on my neighbor? And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's a fair question, and many people have posed that question to me, and I think it's an unfortunate reality that potentially may happen. Now, if you look at the Woolworths boycott, right, and that was a sustained boycott for 6 months against Woolworths, and it was a very impactful one. Whether we say, okay, Woolworths was justified or not, the point that I'm trying to make is that they had a loss in income for that period, yet there were no retrenchments.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just saying.
Right.
So it wasn't as if that there was a great impact that way, but there was an impact overall.
Okay, but let's say hypothetically there was a massive retrenchment.
I'll give an example. In Morocco, Starbucks now has shut down.
Let's not talk about Morocco. Talk about South Africa.
I'm giving an example.
Yeah.
And there would be potentially Muslims who had been employed by Starbucks,
Which could potentially end up being zakatable.
which now may have lost their jobs.
And could be zakatable.
Potentially, yes.
And then what happens to them?
I know from a humanitarian perspective, it would
Because for me right
would be
now, this is the reality.
But
we
understand
don't have enough zakat. That's the truth. To go around with the amount of poverty, that we're facing in South Africa. That's what I'm talking about. Because we see it firsthand, Nazir. I mean, in Cape Town, you see the woman and the elderly that come crying that we don't have food and we just asked Allah and this is what happened and blah, blah, blah. And unfortunately, we can't do this every month.
Let's talk about boycotting. I have a different opinion, potentially to you. To me, again, as Professor Dr. Lubna Nadvi said, it's about a targeted boycott. You can't just be boycotting randomly every single thing because it's just not going to be effective. If you look at the Woolworths boycott, that was specific.
So explain that to me. So don't buy milk, I can still go to Woolworths.
No, so Woolworths was about strategically that time was not even supporting anything with Woolworths. No, okay, now
when we say not targeting, so what do we, like, don't buy that product, but I can still use the store.
No, it was. It depends again. See, it's a targeted.
Yeah,
it depends.
explain that targeted.
It means you're either targeting the entire brand, like Cape Union Mart,
Right.
and every affiliate of Cape Union Mart,
Right.
With Rob Herzog,
Right.
and the issue of Africa Paddle,
Right. everything with
Africa Paddle,
Right.
and anything related to his company,
Right.
you would boycott because it's a personality. Woolworths, it's a company. Cape Union is a company and a personality. So the fact is that you would choose your boycott strategically so
Give
that
me-
you
give me-
have an impact. Now,
But give me an
Woolworths-
example.
So Woolworths, for example, the boycott was fully on Woolworths, and it had an effect for 6 months.
Right.
Yet there were no job losses.
Right.
There was loss of income
Right.
for 6 months, but there was no job losses.
Alhamdulillah.
So there was an impact. It had value. It was strategic. Same with in the case of, for example, we're doing Africa Paddle or Cape Union Mart. You're going to see there'll be a drop to income, and good. We don't want a KW product.
Okay.
Because you're supporting an apartheid Israel state,
All right. If Woolworths had to retrench,
which they didn't.
if they did, go along.
So,
with me.
you, for example, in Morocco, with the issue of their Starbucks
It's a
now
welfare
has been
state. They have zakat.
okay, well, but Starbucks has been removed, and
Right.
now you potentially have Muslims without jobs.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
As I say, it's an
That,
unfortunate
that potentially
reality.
can
It's
become
an unfortunate
that
reality.
potentially can become zakatable.
It's unfortunate reality.
Agreed.
Potential that may
Agreed.
happen.
Agreed.
It may happen.
Agreed.
And we do need to find solutions for it.
Okay.
Right.
So for
So
me,
I'm saying you can't say don't boycott.
no. So for me,
I'm saying choose your boycott and let's find a way of solution behind.
I still
all the
don't understand the
consequences.
concept of choose.
Why not? Because you know what happens? Every single thing, as you said about China, every single thing will happen. If you boycott every single thing from China.
I'm talking about the fact, not China. So when you look at Woolworths, when Dr. Lubna said, choose your boycott. Target your boycott. What am I targeting? The product or the business?
The brand. In that case, the brand.
All right. So then.
So Clover, the brand. Anything
so
that Clover
hypothetically, and go along with me now. Hypothetically, if Woolworths had to retrench X amount of people, Muslim and non-Muslim, and most of them are,
low income.
low income, and some of them are working maybe 2 days a week, 3 days a week. What happens to them? What do we do as a community to help them? Because for me, if we don't have a plan of action or a pot that will be able to look after them, then I can't do this. I can't, because I cannot be answerable for this which is on my doorstep.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I do. As I'm saying, we need to find a solution.
Right. So for
It's
me,
not perfect. It's not amazing.
100%.
I also don't want to lose economy.
Yeah.
I mean, by closing down the Israeli embassy, you're going to have a knock-on investment impact.
100%.
And
And
in a struggling economy like South Africa,
Yeah.
this is why the government is rethinking their view,
yeah.
because they said we're going to have a great impact on our economy.
So you support them in this decision?
I don't support the decision, because in times of truth, in times of justice, you
Yeah.
need to stand up against the oppressor. Because as you said,
Right.
to every Goliath, there's a David.
100%.
And every
100%. But not at the expense. Not at the expense of causing zulm on my own people.
I mean, this is the same point you're going to come back with.
Because
with,
if South Africa went with this decision, right?
it's the same matter then you're going to bring up where we say that Hamas is justified, not justified, because, by saying that you're going to go and bomb another state by not protecting your own people. Same story then.
I have an
You're not
opinion. I have an
protecting-
opinion, but another day.
But you're protecting, the fact is that you have to stand up against oppression.
No, I am in agreement with that. But what I'm saying is this right now. And again, you need to try to walk in my shoes, and which you have, because you've been on me on humanitarian distributions and journeys, right? You've seen the level of poverty in South Africa, young and old, white and African, Muslim, non-Muslim. And if this boycott had if it had an impact like what it had in over the rest of the world, we would have had a massive problem. Now, look at it from a Muslim perspective. How much zakat do we get in?
Yeah. You're saying not enough.
No, it's not. It's because right now, zakat, what we're currently doing, is a food hamper. That's not going to last forever. I need to take you out of the poverty cycle, I need to make you pay zakat, not collect zakat. How do we do that?
Yeah.
So if my decision is a cause for you to lose your job, I should have a plan of action to help you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We need to have a plan of action.
Okay.
In case, in case
Okay.
there's something else that happens.
I agree.
Because
I agree. But I still say you still must boycott.
I don't drink Starbucks. I think it's rubbish.
Okay.
You like it?
No, hell no.
You think it's rubbish?
No.
You don't think it's rubbish?
That's something I don't like it.
Yeah, so screw Starbucks. It's rubbish. But again, selective boycott, and understand my opinion is coming from a humanitarian point. First, for me, local.
Yeah.
Because the work we do.
So then if you're
is
saying
based
local,
here.
then all of these brands that we're boycotting are international brands. We don't need them. We need to create our own local brands. Thank you.
100%, 100, and it goes back to what I said earlier.
Yeah.
We are too reliant.
Yeah.
On
But now I heard
everything
Kui is
else.
bought off by PepsiCo.
I actually saw an ad the other day. Subhanallah, I don't think this guy knows
Kui
this.
and all of them.
It's a restaurant. He came out and said, "Alhamdulillah, we're boycotting Coke, and we got a special with chicken and another brand which is bought off by Coke."
Yeah. Yeah, so apparently all these Kui and what's the one in Cape Town?
Jive.
All bought off by PepsiCo.
Yeah, he had Jive.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. But look, I mean to end this, I'm really proud of our community in South Africa. We're seeing a huge number of podcasts coming out. We spoke about how ours have grown tremendously.
Yeah.
And the feedback's been great.
Yeah.
Both ways, negative and positive. We love the feedback. So
By the
whatever
way, for everyone who's hating on us, leave a like, please, and a share.
and they come talk to us in studio.
Yeah, come talk to us. I mean,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
most welcome you.
We'll wrap you up in a scarf so no one can see you if you're so scared. But yeah, I mean, I've been watching. I've been in radio for so many years.
Yeah.
And so media has been part of me. And then to see, it's growing, and many others. I've been watching Sohail Issa's one about men's health.
Yeah.
That's been really interesting
Yeah.
with other doctors.
Does he
he's
just
doing
talk about health-related issues?
mental health and men's health specifically?
Okay.
Yeah, it's an incredible one. I learned so much from it.
Yeah.
So to see that happening, many other local South Africans also doing it, and
Yeah.
I think it's a great platform for us to really talk truth without too much of control.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when you have other kinds of forms of media, you have controlled somewhat of what you can say and how you say it. But then this is a platform that is free for people to come join us and see. We're not charging anyone yet.
So what do you think?
Unless
about,
you're going to do OnlyFans, Shane.
I did come up with an idea where we do OnlyFans and as he takes off his shirt, and we have a live podcast with him with no
It's a
shirt.
totally uncensored one.
And by the way, I mean that from an Islamic point, you are covered, so it's all good. What do you think about? Have you watched Riyaad Moosa's podcast?
Yeah, I've been seeing it popping up on my feed.
Yeah,
Very well done, Riyaad.
yeah, well done.
Yeah. He's coming out quite hard also on issues.
Yeah.
And he's using his amazing wit. I
like that.
write a comment on his one of his posts.
Yeah.
His what do you call it? Impression of Ben
Shapiro.
Oh my God, it's spot on. Hamas, you like Hamas? It's incredible. Well done.
Yeah, so I also watch his stuff. It's quite good. But I see now, either this morning or yesterday, he's been called an anti-Semite.
Oh, night, mate.
So, I mean, it's really sad because I mean we know him personally.
Yeah,
He's an amazing guy. He's a funny guy. He's also a doctor,
it's good-hearted.
family man, and he's speaking from his heart, like what all of us are doing. I mean, he's talking about babies being killed, babies being bombed,
Yeah.
and unfortunately for that, he's been called an anti-Semite. Like how the hell
Yeah.
would someone call him an anti-Semite? So I mean, the reality is, Riyaad, you carry on doing what you're doing.
Well done.
Yeah, well done. You carry on doing what you're doing. And for someone who actually calls you an anti-Semite for talking about the destruction and death of children and babies and women,
Yeah.
needs to have their bloody head screwed on right.
Exactly. So
Something-
don't feel the pressure.
Yeah, don't feel the pressure at all. And you're more than welcome to come and join us on our podcast and discuss this.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for another
Wait.
episode.
One more. What happened
Kuluma,
to
Baba.
what happened to accidental Muslims?
Yeah, I mean, I was part of the accidental Muslims here in Durban.
Were they one of the first?
One of the first, especially Muslim ones, talking about leadership. We interviewed people across local and across the globe.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, for the time that it was there, it was phenomenal. It was unique. It was new. And it had a great space and opportunity. It wasn't the controversial one. in the sense like how we're doing now. It was more about leadership. It was about development. But then as time went by, things happened. We got busy. I got busy, and so on like that. So this.
Well, I have to thank Allah that Nazir got busy, and then we set this up. Alhamdulillah.
And now I got busier.
Alhamdulillah.
Now I got busier. Oh yeah, thanks, man. Okay, so if you want to catch us up next time, we're going to say like, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe.
And and keep the comments coming. If you notice, we don't reply to everyone.
It's quite entertaining, I must say. It's actually very entertaining, and
we like that debate. We like the discussion.
The one
where we need to be learn. We will learn from you as well.
Yeah, the one comment that made me laugh was when Fahim spoke about KFC and Nando's and the amount of fat in KFC, and then someone came out there. Unfortunately, I can't stop eating it.
It's like the McDonald's guy.
Yeah, I can't stop eating it. What do I do? Yeah, but watch this space. There's a lot more coming up.